Heather, can I begin by quoting something you wrote last year when you were talking about the humanities and the liberal arts? And towards the end of that piece, you cut to the heart of the issue that so many of us are thinking about here in Australia, and I know you are thinking about in the United States. And I'll quote some of what you say. You wrote, "We are in uncharted territory. How a civilisation survives with so much contempt for itself is an open question. The greatest sin of the social justice and diversity crusade warriors is to teach students to hate their cultural inheritance. The social justice crusaders are stripping the future of everything that gives human life meaning, beauty, sublimity, and wit." Can you talk about what you meant by those powerful words, Heather?
Well, students are being taught to hate. They're being taught to hate each other. They're being taught to hate the extraordinary accomplishments of Western civilization. And educators, so-called, are absolutely complicit. They are driving this profound betrayal of what education is supposed to be. As the great British philosopher Michael Oakeshott said, school is where one generation passes on an inheritance to the next. And now we are wallowing in ignorance. Students learn nothing about the past that is actually honest. They do not learn what is one of the most essential elements of human life, which is gratitude. We should be down on our knees in front of these great works of imagination, of intellect, of rationality that is our supreme unmerited good fortune to have inherited. And instead, teachers are telling students to be angry and, most preposterously, to think of themselves as victims. As I try to tell students, provoking absolute fits of hysteria and lachrymose self-pity, there is no individual in human history more privileged today than a college student, whether it's in Australia or in the United States, because every college student has at his fingertips the thing that Faust sold his soul for, which is knowledge. And yet universities now are dedicated not to knowledge, but to inculcating in students their current status on the great totem pole of victimhood, where there's a vicious competition among different identity-based groups to be the top dog victim. These days, it seems maybe trans students occupy that, but it's a very internecine war among the various groups. Sometimes blacks win out, other times females, other times trans. And that is what the main goal of universities are.